Hello, hi. So here we go again with the bidding phase and policy exchange. This video is now going to talk about the next step on the game round. So in the previous video we touched on each Civitas taking their ether bonuses for CRC population. That's happened. Now we go on to the bidding phase and policy exchange. Bidding phase is a very simple blind bid. So for however many players there currently are at the table, you have that many policy points. If a player is beyond 13 reputation, you add a +1 to the bidding draw. Now Civitas Tau is on 13. They start with 13 reputation. This particular President FM 2030, has a very popular Civitas. They start on 13 rep. Okay, so if we put him over here and stick that on 13 rep, we can also see on the board that indicates to us that we must add a +1 to the bidding draw. If we get to 38, we add +3 to the bidding draw. So we put 3 policy cards down. But in this scenario, we're just laying 4. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now what happens when you draw a C and expat onto the bidding deck is you get one of the blue meeples and you place that on top of the card like that. And we go from left to right in Western reading from left to right order. And we basically start off, the CN player chairs the bidding phase, and the first bid is open to the player to their immediate left. So this player in a clockwise direction, Civitas Tau, will have the option to place a bid on this card. All policy cards and CN expat cards are worth something. They're valuable cards. It's not like the Dune board game where you get worthless cards in a blind auction. This is a blind auction for things that are actually worth something. So the auction itself thematically doesn't exist. It's not an auction that's actually happening in the game world. What this is that you need to look at it as an investment that your Civitas is making into the potential for policies to come out from your Civitas. So everyone's bidding at the moment. The bidding aspect of it is at the game table, but the actual winning of the policies and the ether that's going into that policy being purchased, that in thematic standpoints, that's research and development into political systems, into ideas, into technologies, into different things like that. So Civitas Nihilium will start off first of all and say, right, okay, who would like to bid for this? So Civitas Tau, you get a first shout on that one. They say, okay, 1 ether. All policy cards and CN expat cards may only be bid using ether. You can't bid with ion, you can't bid with material cubes, you can't bid with anything else. You must only bid with ether. So here we can see Civitas Tau starts with 6 ether, so that's 6 million ether. They get 6 of these coins, and with that ether, they can say, okay, I'm going to bid, say, 2. Then we go to the next player. They say, I'll bid 3. Then the next player carries on until the bidding is getting to the point where no one wants to bid anymore. Going once, going twice, sold to Civitas Tau. They take the card, they stick it in their hand, they look at it, they assess what's going on. Whilst that's happening, the CM player focuses to the next player and says, okay, a CN expat, here we go, we're opening the bidding. You get the start, so they start, they say, okay, I bid 2 ether. Then Civitas Nihilium and Civitas Tau get an option to obviously bid on it. And we go like that until the cards are purchased. When a CN expat is purchased, say for example CN managed to get the CN expat, so we managed to bid for it. What's happened there thematically is that this CN expat has changed their mind and they've come back to Civitas Nihilium. We've greased their palm. We've said, okay, listen, we'll give you some money. This is basically paying for that particular person to come to your Civitas. They come to the Civitas. Their meeple goes into the CRC and the card goes into our hand. We can look at that card and actually see what it does. We can't do anything at the moment of getting it. We can only do stuff with that when we're enacting policies and CN expat abilities, which we cover in a later video. So just have a look at this now. Just take it all in of what it actually does. So place in any active military facility and gain 3 policy points per turn. MF is a military facility. Place into any active TF, which is a tech facility, and gain ether per turn. Or search the bidding deck for the CTCG isolation lab and negate its shuffle back into the bidding deck rule. Fail to find the card, shuffle the CN expat back into the bidding deck. So remember, this is the bidding deck, that's the CN expat draw deck. So very powerful card. Civitas Nihilium must be pretty pleased with that. The money from the ether goes to the bank, so any ether that's spent goes to the bank, and then we move on to the next card. So the next card, we carry on with the bidding. If policy cards are not bidded upon, they go back into the policy deck, and the policy deck is shuffled and cut. Okay, so we put it back into the policy deck, we shuffle and cut if no bids are made at the end of the bidding round. And that's basically it for the bidding. Now we go on to the policy exchange. The policy exchange is where we can hand in cards. In the first round, we get to hand in one of our secret objective cards. We must hand in one of our secret objective cards. So one player must always be handing in one of the secret objectives that they don't want to do. When you hand in the secret objective card, you just literally hand in one of your secret objective cards like this. It goes into the policy deck. It gets shuffled up with the rest of the cards, and that's it. And when you hand in a secret objective card, you gain a policy point. So you will go up to the next policy point on the board there. You can do this with policies that you don't want. So say, for example, Civitas Tau gets this policy point in this turn, gets this policy card in this turn, and has a look at it. Okay, they've got a secret objective as well. That's good. You can get secret objectives in here later on in the game, and that's pretty handy. We want to be able to have that. So let me just figure out what's going on here. Here we go. So we've got the secret objective card. Okay, we don't want that. We're going to hand that in on the policy exchange, and that's going to give our Civitas, let me just demonstrate. So we're on 2 policy points, say, for example, and we then go to 3. That will stay back over there on 13 like that. Don't want to confuse you. So yeah, so bidding phase is when we bid on cards, and the number of cards is the amount of players plus any extra cards if any player is above 13, or any extra players from that if any player is above 38 reputation. And then everybody bids, taking in turns to open the bid. And when the biddings have opened, everybody bids. There's a going once, going twice, going 3 times, and the card is then sold to the highest bidder. And then there's a policy exchange where you can hand in policy cards and secret objective cards, which are also policy cards. They act as policy cards as well. You can hand those back in. You have to hand in one of your secret objective cards in the first game round. After that, it doesn't matter. But you do that in order to gain your first policy point and to give yourself a bit of focus towards the secret objective that you've chosen. C and expats cannot be shuffled back into the policy deck. They stay with you, and they go in your CRC until you position them accordingly, and they go in there. They can't go into inactive facilities. They don't count towards these grey meeples, but they do count towards a upgrade when you have them here. So say, for example, we're looking at this hex here. It's a military hex. 8 SPs need to be here. This hex generates 4 SPs at the beginning of your hex bonus phase. Also, if you stick a C and expat in here, it generates an extra 1, so you would then get 9, and you can upgrade it, etc, etc, etc. The C and expats can go on to any hex. They can go on to any hex and supply bonuses, any active hex and supply bonuses. They can't go on to these zones unless it states that they can, and then that will be where they will use their special abilities. So a certain, like elite cops, for example, that can go onto industrial zones, and they might be able to generate reputation or something like that, but they don't count towards the SPs that are placed there. The C and expats can go on to, say, for example, it can go on to here. Let's have a look. So the C and expat can go on here like this, and we have this particular card here. Now I don't think he has placed into an MF. Oh, he does place into an MF, active MF, and gain 3 policy points per turn. So that's his ability. His ability is written on the card, and we choose what he can do. But his bonus, the C and expat bonus, is what's on the hex. So you gain an extra SP for this particular meeple being there, and you get this top line of the ability and you get that when you get C and expat bonus abilities. So enact policies and C and expat abilities, which is here. Enact policies and C and expat abilities, and then over here receive hex and C and expat bonuses. Bonuses and abilities are 2 different things. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell for the bidding round. I hope that was nice and sweet, and it got in quite well. Any questions, just drop me a line. I'm always available to chat. And yeah, thank you very much. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.